On the screen, we have 23-year-old Chandler Halderson and his girlfriend, 21-year-old Cathryn Cat Melander. They're in the Dane County Police Station because on July 7, 2021, Chandler reported that his parents, 50-year-old Bart and 53-year-old Krista Halderson, had gone missing. The couple had everything, a lovely house in Windsor, Wisconsin, and two amazing sons, Mitchell, 24, who had a tech job, and Chandler, 23, who was still in college and lived at home. What reason would they have to disappear suddenly? Well, there could be many answers, but the reality was that they were dead. In fact, they had been shot and dismembered. Some of the pieces were burnt, others were dumped at different places in the city. Now, let's watch the interrogation of Chandler and Cathryn and try to use psychology to analyze and identify guilt.
Sounds like he's not quite as cooperative as you.
Fair.
Any reason why?
It's probably worried you guys are going to be like, Chandler did it.
Okay.
You know? I think that's everyone's fear.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to be accused of killing their parents.
Right now, because he's not being so cooperative or forthcoming, his parents are missing. It looks like they're going to take him into custody.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the charges are yet, but right now it's just going to be because of the missing persons investigation and him lying to the detectives.
Can I talk to him before he goes, or no?
Mm-mm.
I think they've already walked him down. Do you think he could have had anything to do with this? And if he did, do you think there's any help in him to disappearance? Did anybody help him? Could anybody have helped him?
Hmm.
Did you use anything else? Hydrogen peroxide for the tiles and the hard floors. Just the big globs needed a little bit. Hydrogen peroxide. Did that seem to help get rid of the blood? Well, it hurt my foot, that stuff. But it didn't really help. Okay. It kind of just made a mess.
You want to grab all your stuff. This one's a little bit more comfortable. And the lighting might be a little bit better. So if you just want to have a seat right there. Perfect. Thank you so much.
This? Or
Sure. That's fine.
I'm trying to figure out what's up.
No, you're fine. Just have a seat. We'll be right with you.
The officer hesitates before letting Chandler sit in the chair further away from the door. There could be two reasons for this. 1, the camera is more aligned with the other chair. 2, letting Chandler sit closer to the door will psychologically put him at ease. While Chandler is made to sit in a hard interview room, Cathryn is questioned in a more comforting setting in what's called a soft interview room.
Okay. Oh, there's a Pooh Bear?
All right. You can play with it if you want to.
Don't have to twist my arm.
All right. Oh, you guys can. I didn't. Cat,
Oh, it's right over
forgot
there
your
if you
phone.
want to. Oh, I can grab it.
Okay.
I want to hit you with the Pooh Bear.
Oh, please don't. Thank you. Just hang out for a bit, please. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
As you must have seen in other interrogations, the detectives often leave subjects alone with their thoughts in the room for an extended time. It builds anxiety, and when officers do enter, they are usually kind, calm, and friendly, psychologically easing them into talking more. Notice the differences in how Chandler and Cathryn react to this alone time. The first impression is that Cathryn seems at ease, which is rather unusual. Considering she is at the police station to provide information about her boyfriend's missing parents, she's overly casual. Chandler, on the other hand, is fidgety and appropriately tensed. But can first impressions be wrong? The first step to answer that question is to establish their base body language.
Are they just talking to Chandler first or something?
I don't know. They didn't even let me know anything. So,
Just hope his parents are okay.
right.
Like, his mom's like, they don't talk about it ever. Chandler only tells me things, but like, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
When we were there, we were like, fingers crossed, we're just at the casino, blowing money, having fun, living life.
Cathryn's cheerful manner of talking can be attributed to her childlike personality. She seems comfortable enough to talk about Chandler and his parents without showing signs of guilt or nervousness, but the real detectives are yet to enter the picture.
Hello.
How are you?
Very tired.
How are you?
Hi.
So this is George. He's one of my partners.
Hi.
Anthony, the one that you spoke with me yesterday, he's off today, so you get George.
I don't know if you're hungry. Brought you 2 cookies.
Is there chocolate?
One has chocolate, one doesn't.
Okay, I'm allergic to chocolate.
Are you really?
If I eat it, I'll just projectile vomit.
Oh, please don't.
Probably
There's a
not.
there's
If
a
I get
garbage.
too emotional, I'll also vomit. So
I know one sprinkles, but you know what? I can put them here if you want it. You want it? That one has chocolate.
this one?
This one.
Oh, I was like,
Eat carefully on that one. I don't know.
Oh, and then here's your phone.
Oh.
Because yesterday was just so fabulous with all of your timestamps on Instagram or Snapchat. So just in case.
keep on my phone long.
There you go. How was work?
I was there for 30 minutes, and then they're like, "You can go."
Oh, how come?
I'm a very emotional person, and like, I was worried, so I like cried a little bit. Like when someone walks with me, like, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And then like I talked to my pharmacist, and she was like, "You can go home." And then I picked up some groceries, took it to Chandler, and cooked him some food because he wasn't eating well.
Oh, how come?
Nervous about his parents.
Okay.
At the time of this interrogation, Chandler's parents were only missing. So Cathryn, whether or not she's guilty, doesn't know if the detective has more information about his parents yet. So Cathryn is chatting with the officers more or less like friends. Talking too much is usually a sign of guilt, but it seems like Cathryn has Centennial or Gen Z mannerisms.
Hey Chandler, how are you doing?
Not good.
Good. But you guys switch spots.
Maybe the detective did not listen to Chandler's response properly, but this interaction will become increasingly tense for Chandler.
I'll send that red shirt. Yeah. What's in the cup? Just water?
One water.
Okay.
Here's an extra one.
Oh, good.
What's going on?
Alright, so we're just going to talk to you a little bit more, okay? Let's write some seat here. Alright, just so you know, I'm gonna record stuff, okay? This helps me remember everything and picks up everything that we talk about. So, obviously, we're here, we want to talk a little bit about your parents going missing, right? Krista and Bart. Before we get started, just because you're up here, okay, so I'm just going to read you your constitutional rights. Okay, so this is a Dane County issued card that they give us. So I'll just read them to you right off the card, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before questioning and to have a lawyer present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at public expense before or during any questioning, if you so wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop the questioning and remain silent at any time you wish, and the right to ask for and have a lawyer at any time you wish, including during the questioning.
Okay.
Do you understand the rights I just read you?
I do.
Okay. Realizing that you have these rights, are you now willing to answer questions or make a statement?
Just need a yes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Sorry, yes.
the second
Okay,
one.
okay.
So I'll just read it again. Realizing that you have these rights, are you now willing to answer questions or make a statement?
Oh, I will make a statement.
Okay.
So you understand them. You're willing to talk.
Can I have the card so I could read it? I missed some. I'm sorry. I'm
I can
still
read it to
having
you.
a little bit of problems. The third one.
I'll read it.
We'll just start all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just read them all
Just-
again. There we go.
Alright, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before questioning and to have a lawyer present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at public expense before or during any questioning, if you so wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop the questioning and remain silent at any time you wish, and the right to ask for and have a lawyer at any time you wish, including during the questioning.
Okay.
So then the only two questions I asked were, do you understand?
Yeah,
your
I
rights?
understand, and I am willing to make a statement.
Okay, perfect.
Chandler looks confused and nervous, which would have been normal for someone whose parents have been missing for almost a week. Chandler wants the detectives to read him his Miranda rights again, but not because he's an aware citizen who knows a lot about the law. It actually feels more like Chandler is planning to ask for a lawyer if things don't go his way. The detective interviewing both Chandler and Cathryn are employing a technique called the narrative approach, where they let the subject narrate the events as they happen to identify the loopholes in the story, if any. Later on, they ask questions to establish if the subject has been honest so far.
Have you heard anything about his parents?
No,
Did you know if his brother made it to the cabin yet?
I don't know.
No, he's on his way up.
Yeah, Mitch, he called me when I was in the car.
I just want to make sure that I'm really understanding everything. So, again, give me your timeline from Thursday.
Thursday I worked. That's when Chandler told me, I think it was Thursday, that his parents were going up to the cabin with some friends. So he was going to be at the house with the dogs by himself all weekend. Went to sleep, woke up, got ready for work, went to work. We planned that I was going to go over there and spend the night. Just hang out with him and the dogs. Because, there's fireworks, and Rizzo's very scared of dogs, and so, dogs. Fireworks, yeah. But before that, I had to stop at 2 different Targets to do some grocery pickups.
And this was Friday?
Yeah. I stopped at Hilldale, my apartment. Then I went to...
Remember what time you stopped at Hilldale?
Got off at 5, so maybe about a 20-minute drive from there, so maybe like 5:20.
5:30,
Yeah.
depending on traffic and stuff.
Yeah.
Since it's not her parents, Cathryn can afford to be less scared and stressed. Even so, she asks about Chandler's parents and if they've heard anything about them. A guilty person is less likely to ask such a question with free and non-restrictive body language.
So, like we already said, I talked to you yesterday. So today is July 8th. It's about 5:11 now. We started talking at 5:08. So yesterday, July 7th, I came to your house where you live with your parents, Bart and Krista Halderson. And the reason I was there is you had gone to the Windsor Police Department and reported them missing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't go to the department. I went to the office break room area.
In the same building.
I think it's mixed in with the city hall.
Okay. But nonetheless, a deputy came and spoke to you. Okay. So you reported your parents missing. We got some information from you yesterday. We've been following leads last night, working today to, go through different things, just trying to locate them, right? So I guess if you want to start with, let's just go back to last Wednesday.
Wednesday. I was with my dad. What time Wednesday? I remember it. It was kind of a bad day.
Okay. Why was it a bad day?
Well, my mom had work, so she was gone. My dad and I were watching something over lunch. It was The Wheel of Fortune, and we normally have the couch, with our back facing the table we sat at the end of you coming.
Downstairs or upstairs?
Downstairs.
Okay.
That room with the TV. I tossed the ball, and I smashed the glass.
Okay.
With the dog's help. Set my dad off, and we tried to clean it up.
Okay.
I don't know about him, but I got injured. But he was mad. He didn't really talk to me too much that day. My mom got home at 5, I believe. That's her normal 5 to 5:20 to 5:30.
Here you can see how Chandler slumps onto his hand. This is part of his basic body language throughout this interview. He touches his face frequently, which is a way to calm down in times of excessive stress and anxiety. Like us, the detectives are also curious to find out if this stress is a concern for his parents' safety or his own. So they employ another investigative strategy called the questions and answer methods, through which they try to fill in the gaps while trying to calm him down and build a rapport with him.
All right, so you were tossing a ball. What type of ball was it?
It's this gross, hairy tennis ball that
Okay.
Rizzo loves.
All right, just like a green tennis ball, like a normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the squeaker, not like
Oh.
a tennis racquetball, but
They don't chew
dog.
those. My
tennis
dog
ball.
chews those out of any tennis ball. They just chew the squeakers out and then they don't play with them anymore.
I'm sorry, you said you went to East Target. That you went from Hilldale to East Target.
No, from Hilldale to apartment to grab dirty clothes and clothes. To East, to my mom's house, to grab the hydrogen peroxide and the Swiffer because Chandler broke the glass of the fireplace that day and cut his toe, so we wanted to clean that and then clean up the glass and blood. And then we had burgers for dinner because he made me burgers because he burned his hands on the grill.
Cathryn is perfectly candid. Even in the next clips where both Chandler and Cathryn talk about his injury, her body language has a confident tone because she's just retelling the events that Chandler has told her.
All right, so you're just tossing that around, broke the fireplace glass. You said you were injured. What type of injury?
I got a pretty deep hole in my foot. Last night, Mary looked at it and she said the reason it keeps bleeding is because there's glass in it.
Oh,
So-
that's the. You showed us your toe.
Yeah, I showed the
Okay.
detective lead.
Yeah.
So
So did you see the fireplace?
Hmm?
What did it look like?
Like, broken. It was like one pane, I think, on the left side.
And did you see like the blood in the glass? Or was that all picked up?
It was pretty much all picked up except like a little bit of glass was still there. Honestly, I didn't see like a lot of blood, but probably because it was only a cut on his big toe.
Okay.
I see, look at.
And blood was by the fireplace, I assume. The blood was by the fireplace.
I think so. I didn't like see it, you know.
Oh, you didn't see the blood.
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's compare the manner in which Chandler and Cathryn narrate the events.
Maybe the area between 12 and 1-ish. Because I remember, let me check my call logs. Because he FaceTimed us while we were in Ross, Dress for Less. He's getting these shoes, helping out with
Her dad
suggestions. Chunky dad shoes. Chandler approved. And I remember our call dropped many times. Because there's no signal in there.
Cathryn takes time to answer. She looks around, moves her hands, but these are not guilty cues. In fact, this is the more natural way of recalling something. If you're asked what you did 4 days ago, you'll probably take time to reply too. Even so, if any doubt remains, she uses her phone to fact check. A guilty person is very unlikely to do something like that.
and then the rest, he didn't really talk to me. I went back to doing like a job search, kind of just shooting my day away, just getting games, YouTube maybe. That's when I came across one of the jobs I liked. Then 5 o'clock rolled by and Mom came home. Dinner,
What do you guys have Wednesday night?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Who made it?
I think it was probably just stuff from the fridge.
Okay.
I think we all did our own thing again.
Sure.
By the way, a detective at my house said something's happened, and while we were leaving, people were going inside. Is there a warrant for my house?
Should there be?
No, I'm just wondering if
Okay.
Can they go
As
in?
far as I know, they were at your house and they were going to be there talking to you to ask if you would come up here and talk to us.
But Officer Haley just like walked pretty much in to the gate. You know, the gate on the outside. She just kind of walked in. I was wondering.
Was that when you were getting your wallet?
No, we were. I was in the car waiting to leave. I was just wondering if everything's okay because she said something's happened.
Okay.
And we need to go down.
Alright. I'll find out what that's about.
Well, has anything bad happened?
Not sure. Alright. So Wednesday night, Mom comes home. Dad was angry. Was he yelling or what was? How would you describe Dad being angry?
It was. He would yell if you said something to him. I guess if you talk to him, if you give him his space, he'll be okay. So
Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
So far, Chandler hasn't once asked if they have any information about his parents, but seems more concerned about the search warrant for the house. In fact, while the interrogation was ongoing, some deputies found a male torso in a nearby farm, which would turn out to be the body of Bart Halderson, Chandler's father. Having the conversation about a possible search warrant, Chandler sits up rather straight and makes direct eye contact with the officer. Notice how he then goes back to looking down, slumping, and trying to remember the events as if he was learned and revised his answers.
You drink a bottle of water.
Yeah, I was really hungry.
You gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, I went before.
Okay, it's literally right there.
Just let us know. You can go.
Thank you. I will not pee on your couches.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Who would not appreciate that?
And the girl was Rose.
Okay.
Why was he wearing a long sleeve shirt? Wasn't it like 90 in?
Oh, he wears long sleeve shirts. This is his thing.
Oh.
He doesn't like t-shirts really.
Oh, okay.
Almost all the pictures we're in, he's wearing like a long sleeve.
What time is that video?
5:30. I'm gonna approach.
Fine, you're fine.
It says right there at the top, and the dates.
5:30, July 4th.
And then we left around 6:30 because he had to be home before 8 to feed the dogs their dinner. And so we left around 6:30. Probably got to like my mom's house.
Although unusual, Cathryn's reactions and responses are natural and spontaneous. She is aware that she's in a police station talking about a serious issue, but talks exactly like a person who has nothing to worry about. But can the same be said about Chandler?
Then we were hanging out again. My mom texts. I believe I texted her everything's going well. His phone died, my dad. He didn't believe. He's kind of like charged it, put it on the dock, and left it. Then we just kind of hung out, and my mom gets home, and I start shrimp scampi for my dad because that's what he wanted, but we didn't have shrimp, so I made shrimpless scampi. That's where they told me while we were eating it, they were gonna go with their friends, and I was like, oh cool.
And they said they were going cabin.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
we were going up north.
Up
That's
north
how
with
they
friends,
referred to it.
Who said that, Mom or Dad?
Ma. My dad doesn't talk while he eats.
Okay.
So there we are at Thursday dinner, up north of the cabin. My dad says, I'll need a set for pipe repair and gas. So I'm like, alright. I grabbed the pipe repair stuff from his plumbing chest, or plumbing box. It's like a tote of what you need for pipe repair.
Mhm.
And 2 whatever jerry cans. I can't remember the amount, but they're red with the safety nozzles. Got those squared away. They had most of their duffels already packed. at that point.
Mhm.
And we all just started bringing him down to the mudroom with the shoes by the garage.
Where you showed me him.
Someone whose parents have been missing for a couple of days would likely be hysterical. People, when stressed, talk faster and louder, but Chandler is taking his sweet time remembering things that likely did not happen. You must have heard that lying is all about the details, but sometime you must have found yourself talking about something a lot, even when you're telling the truth. So, how do we know who's lying? Chandler and Cathryn present the best distinction.
After that, we watched it was a Netflix original, Seven Underground, with the thrill-seeking, it's like they fake their deaths and they fly airplanes and they like fight at the evil of the world by being ghosts. It's pretty cool.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. Who was watching that?
The three of us.
All three of you? Okay.
All three. And that put it at 9. They had their drinks. Went to my computer. My computer was at that black table we sat at.
Sure.
We saw the stuff. Played a video game called Tarkov till midnight. Well, after midnight, maybe even. Kind of lose track of time. And my parents by then were asleep. We got their teeth brushed and everything. Then I got upstairs.
People who tell lies really want you to believe them, so they will usually try to tell a story with lots of extra details to make it sound true. They oversell and overexplain, similar to Chandler during this interrogation.
Can I
I'm
ask
an
what you-
emotional person.
can I ask what you're crying about?
My boyfriend's parents are missing. Like, I think it's more concerning if I wasn't concerned. I'm a very emotional person. Like, I cry enough for both of us, is like what I like to say.
Sure.
Like, it's like I hang out with the family often, you know. There's parents, they're important. Like, I hang out with them, we play Mario Kart. His mom makes the Toad sound every time she selects Toad. No, Yoshi. The Yoshi sound. That's
Yeah.
exactly how she does it. Loose every time, but like I don't know. I just don't understand how you couldn't like be worried or
Yeah.
emotional.
I know. I mean, that's why we're here. We're worried.
Yeah.
We're worried.
Like,
How's Chandler been?
like I said, he's not really. He expresses it in a different way. He's not like the biggest emotional person, but like I guess like when I look at him, it's different when other people look at him. Like I can tell it's really hard on him, and like he just sits there and dissociates and like paces and like just sits there like where are my parents, like a shell. And like when his brother was over, like
Excessive details are also associated with excitement and passion. Cathryn is emotionally connected to the family, and it seems like she wants to belong. She gives so many details because she's the only one familiar with the family. So there can be a dopamine rush to share what she knows. But as mentioned earlier, she calls herself an emotional person. So talking too much can easily be an attempt to create a false persona to hide the stress behind. By now, the officers are beginning to notice inconsistencies in Chandler's story, so they decide to use Cathryn to help in identifying if their suspicion is going in the right direction or not.
So what's his thought process? Why can't he drive? Is it just
the numbness.
okay?
Like it's a risk. He doesn't want to crash the car,
Okay.
Sure.
and like being conscious about other drivers. Like
Okay.
if something were to happen and he hits another car, I don't think he'd live with himself. Like
Okay.
So medical reason, basically.
pretty much, yeah.
How did his doctor's appointment go on Monday or Tuesday?
Not the Monday.
Okay.
Not the best. Told him like, hey, the stuttering will go away, but like the numbness is gonna like stay, you know, because like he hit his head twice. They said like the numbness was from like a hemorrhage or something. And that's when he talked to his HR and he was like, I had to be honest with them, and that's how he lost the SpaceX job.
So let's go back to pre-fall. Pre-fall. So how was Chandler's demeanor before the fall versus now?
I mean, upbeat, you know, excited to be working for SpaceX. Like, super.
Did he get a lot of timeouts, spankings?
So I'm trying to remember if he mentioned it.
You're fine.
I think, like, maybe he would just study at the table and his dad would help him and he'd, like, get yelled at if he got too many wrong or something like that.
So you mentioned that he was honor society, very active. Dad would yell if he got too many wrong. Was there a lot of pressure on him?
I guess.
What about now?
I think it's, like, normal parent pressure. Like, they just want him to be the best person he can be.
Okay. You
Yeah.
don't see anything like abnormal. Like he's not like, Jesus, my parents do.
I mean, his dad yells at McDonald's drive-thru workers a lot. And, like, whenever his mom gets home, she always wants to know about his day. How's your day going, Chandler? Goes, sits in his room on his bed, like, while he's doing something. I was like, hi, Mom. Like, he'll cook them dinner often, because he's a really good cook. He cooks for me, too. Like,
Just not grilling. Just not good at grilling.
no. I guess they're on him for, like, you gotta help us with housework, you gotta do chores, but he, like, lives with them, so
Fair.
just helping out around the house like a normal child.
Now, let's check what Chandler describes as a stress moment for him when he could not reach his parents.
This Sunday, it's the 4th. The morning, I'm a little worried about my family. I think I called my mom. Oh, throughout I've called, I don't know the times though. Throughout the weekend, I mean. But I called my mom, I believe, in the morning or along those lines, and I get a text from her. It was a text message, it wasn't even an iMessage, so I assumed. She said White Lake today. So she sent it that day. I couldn't figure out where she was. Because it was a text, there was no iMessage. So I kind of just like left it at that. They're safe, they're alive.
What's unusual about this clip is that Chandler takes a long time to describe a Netflix show, but until now, he's not talked about the stress. He said he was relieved knowing they were safe and alive. But if he was scared about their well-being, shouldn't that have come up in the interrogation in more detail?
Then I go up to have, breakdown by their shed, and they go swimming. Right by the swimming pool is the shed, so they wanted to watch me, break down and all that. So after I noticed they're just watching, I just walk over to them.
Describe your breakdown to me.
I actually cried. Started kicking grass. Just doing the toddler tantrum.
There's hardly any change in his positioning, angle, and overall body language. Lying requires more thinking. By staying usually still and maintaining concentration allows the energy to go to the brain. Even without excessive fidgeting, Chandler's constant touches to the face and no direct eye contact have all the telltale signs of a nervous tic. But if you're thinking about his breakdown with his guilt manifesting or regret or concern for his parents, you cannot be more wrong.
What were you having a breakdown about?
You ever have your legs kind of? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
It's just I don't even know if they're done getting like as bad as they can be yet. So that's not fun.
And I think you were telling me last night it's a symptom of a concussion, right?
So
Is that right?
that's not it. It's a symptom of nerve damage from the hit to my
Oh,
spine. So it's
okay.
permanent.
Okay, I understand that now better.
Yeah.
While Chandler is botching up all his chances to come across as innocent, Cathryn is trying to paint a positive picture of Chandler for the detectives. She either really believes him or is just trying to fool herself.
I was like, you have to go to the police. I was like, your parents are like gone. He's like, yeah, I should go to the police. You know, it was his idea. I'm pretty sure, yeah. But I was like, have you heard from them? Have you heard from them? You know?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's so unusual to not hear from his mom.
Did you guys look around the house for any kind of note that they may have left, or did you go into the room to search
The
for any?
only note they left was Chandler's like insurance cards and like Pam's number on the table because he has his appointment on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you go into their bedroom at all? Did it seem like
Clean.
Clean.
The door was open. I don't go in, but the bed was made. Chandler put their laundry on their bed. He's like, I should probably fold their laundry so when they get back, they'll be happy. You know?
Sure.
He does little stuff like that, you know? I think it makes any parent happy when their kid folds their clothes for them while they're gone. I do it for my mom sometimes.
Gone. We come knocking. Obviously, he makes the report. Did he seem happy that we were at least helping try to find his parents? Yeah.
Like, he talked to you when we first came here. Like, he was like, do you have any news? Like,
Yeah.
Like, I texted him through. He's like, they haven't heard anything. Like, the cabin's empty. Like, we were talking after Mitch left. Like, I was like, hey, Danny's like, because my friend Danny's mom died of cancer. You know, his mom's sick. So he's like, you know, his mom probably took that money and they're going to live life, you know, going to the casinos, winning big and like just, you know, having fun. And Chandler's like, yeah, they're at the casino, they're like having such a good time, like they're racking up that money, they gotta stay there so they blow it all. It's like, yes, yeah. You know, they're just at the casino living life. He's like, yep, they're just winning. You know, trying to stay positive. Talk about what they're probably doing, like.
Did they have any problems with anybody?
The Haldersons?
Yeah. Gotta ask.
Not that I'm aware of. The only thing I heard is like Miss Halderson doesn't always get along with her boss, you know? But doesn't mean all the time. Like, she made him like a gumball out of his head for his Christmas present. Like, a gumball machine. Because he always has like nuts. They got him a bag of nuts and like a gumball machine. And it was like a Mr. Halderson and Miss Halderson project to make it look like him.
Okay.
So it would dispense nuts on his desk.
Alright.
Like,
Okay.
maybe the McDonald's workers his dad would yell at through the...
Notice the difference in Chandler and Cathryn's body language as the interrogation becomes intense.
Then I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday morning. They should be here. A little worried. I think I called my mom that day.
Alright.
And then,
You talked to her?
no, she never picked
Yeah,
up.
it's
It's
Tuesday
always,
either?
it's always the voicemail and said voicemail. You know when you...
Oh, yeah.
So it's off, out of range. I don't know the other factors that could give you that.
It's like a voicemail right away. It goes right to voicemail, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever factors can give you that.
So I might have missed it. So from the time like they left, did you talk to them at all when they were
I got a
up
text,
north? You got the one text
and I
that you mentioned
don't
earlier,
even like it.
right?
Yeah.
But that was it? Nothing else?
Yeah. So that's fishy to me, even the text, because I realized Memorial Day is when the White Lake Parade is.
Oh, sure.
There's no 4th of July. Maybe there's cheap drinks, but there's no parade at
Okay.
White Lake on the 4th. So, well, maybe there is now. I realize I've always gone on Memorial. because that's the
Sure.
weekend. I get time off from school and all of that. You don't get time off for the 4th.
So basically, from the time that they're gone at the cabin and you're home, running around doing what you're doing, you just had one communication with mom.
Yeah, that's kind of how
Via
I
text.
just assumed the amount of people, where they're at, and whether
Sure.
they're all
Well, I understand. I'm just making sure it wasn't more than one.
her not contacting. But this was the only text.
Was there anything with Dad?
No, I won't even bother talking to him. He wouldn't use his phone while he's up there. He loves it.
Oh,
But you know,
does he keep his phone on him when he's up there?
No.
Oh,
it's usually in the car.
oh, okay.
Unheard from.
No. I just, no. No. All my friends I've talked to, they're like, no. Not Chandler, no. Like, that'd be crazy. Sorry, I sound very monotone right now, but like, just no. No. Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Not a mean bone in his body.
Well, everyone has a mean bone. They even said Mother Teresa was a sometimes, like. But I just don't see him killing Mr. and Mrs. Halderson. Like, he had SpaceX. Like, why would he jeopardize something he, like, would dream of? You know?
Yeah.
Like, they're his parents. For Christmas, they got him and his brother matching tool sets. Like, come on. Like, I thought, like, maybe they got into a car accident. Like, maybe their car's on the side of the road. Like, I even thought, like, maybe that happened and someone took them to the hospital and they're just Jane and John Doe. Like, if someone killed them, it would have to be someone they, like, didn't know. Like, I just can't see them, like, owing a loan shark money and then, like, them getting him or, like, having problems with the mob, you know? They're just not that type of people. Like, I just can't see someone killing them.
I imagine you and Chandler had this conversation, like all the what ifs,
Like,
car accident.
I didn't bring up the car accident to him. I think our main thing was they're just off throwing money everywhere. We don't talk about other stuff.
He hasn't had that concern that something else could have happened.
I don't think he wants to think about that. Like, he's obviously worried, like, they're not at the cabin. Sorry, I'm emotional.
You're fine.
And it's like, no one wants to think that. Like, you can see himself just saying, they're, like, blowing all the money. They're just trying to live life. They went, like, and extended their vacation somewhere. Like, no one wants to think anything happened to them. And, like, we haven't talked about other alternatives. Or, like, what would happen if something happened to his parents? I just don't even think he wants to think about it.
Want some paper towel or anything? Kleenex?
Yes, please.
I'm gonna get you some.
Thank you. I sweat. Just I sweat. No big deal. Yeah. It's dusty in here.
I know.
People have different ways to deal with stress and grief, but some things, such as evading eye contact, laughing, etc., are always unusual. Chandler does not mind answering the questions because he wants to be pseudo-cooperative. If he was actually concerned about his parents, he would have asked more questions and probably would have been annoyed because the officers were making him sound guilty. But he does no such thing. The detective recaps everything in brief.
Alright, just kind of look at some things here. So we started Wednesday. Mom had work, you and your dad watched Wheel of Fortune. I'm just going to kind of read stuff back through a little bit,
Yeah.
okay? And we kind of ended it last night because I've been talking to you since then, so I don't think there's much else that... As far as the blood on your foot, how did you clean that up? So we were talking, you had blood on...
Swiffer wet jet.
Okay, Swiffer wet jet. And where did you get that from?
Can't let me borrow it.
Where's it at now?
I returned it.
To Cat.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I
fine.
don't know where it's at now. We just brought it back. I can give it back to her.
Did you use anything else? Hydrogen peroxide for the tiles and the hard floors. Just the big globs needed a little bit. Hydrogen peroxide. Did that seem to help get rid of the blood? Well, it hurt my foot, that stuff. But it didn't really help.
Okay.
It kind of just made a mess.
And when you say only on tiles, I'm trying to remember your house.
I couldn't do carpet with it. It would
Yeah.
ruin the carpet, right?
It would. I think so. Tiles. Are we talking kitchen? Because downstairs
Yeah.
is just like cement.
Well, when I had some blood on the basement, I used the peroxide.
Okay. Basement floor and tiles in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Chandler does not show any emotions, neither concern nor remorse. He seems detached from his family, and like Cathryn established earlier, he tends to dissociate. By now, the detectives have received what they need to implicate the liar in this case.
So, were you on the phone with Chandler and heard him yelling about being treated like a prisoner at his house?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, tell me more about that.
When he wasn't allowed to leave.
And that was after the fall, right? When he was recovery / payback 2 weeks for the money that he owes them.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
What day was that?
But he's still talking about being a prisoner? I don't know.
You know, like recently?
Just sounds familiar.
Is that something that he normally complained about?
Yeah, like, he's only allowed to leave when his parents let him leave. Like, their house, their rules. Like, if they wanted him home, they'd be like, no, you can't go. You know? But, kind of more dramatic type thing.
Okay.
I know when, like, this is it's a fragile situation we're in because they're missing. You know, we want to talk good things,
Mm-hmm.
but was there some tension between Chandler and his parents?
The money
I mean,
thing.
I mean, if he feels like he's a prisoner, he's upset. Were they overly strict, do you think?
It's like I said, whenever we're together, his parents would text him. Like, I think it's more of just like involved parent type thing. Like, they want to know what he's doing, where he's at, what's our plan is usually what they text. Like, what's your plan? Like, if they want him home, like, they won't let him leave. Like, you know?
Are they like, if they're having dinner, are they overly strict? I mean, is there a conversation going on at the dinner table?
The prisoner thing, I think he was just being dramatic. Like, what kid wouldn't call their parent a prisoner if they're, like, not allowed to leave often? Or, like, they want to go do something and their parents are like, no, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just my perspective. I'm not trying to be like, oh, no, Chandler, never. It's like, it just sounds like a normal kid thing to say to me. Like, I mean, his parents, like, because if it was up to us, we would hang out with each other every day. Seems clingy, but, like, we're each other's best friends. Like, I want to hang out with my best friends every day. But, like, his parents, you know, obviously want to spend family time with him, so, like, he wasn't allowed, so he'd be like, they won't let me leave, sorry, you know? And, like, those 2 weeks were, like, a long time.
So you don't think there's any way that Chandler's involved in the disappearance?
No, I told Liz that, like, if it's Chandler, I'm gonna be severely mentally f***ed up after this.
Okay.
Like, I just can't see it being him. Like,
If it was, would you help him?
no, I'm sorry. Excuse my French. Like, that's crazy. Like, no. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't stand blood. Like, blood scares me. Like, dead bodies, like, I was good at dissections, but, like, that's animals. But, like, killing people, especially, like, Mr. and Mrs. Halderson, I'm sorry, that's, like, different levels of stuff.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry that I'm freaking out now, but, like, no.
That's fine.
Like, like, no.
So you had nothing to do with their disappearance?
No.
You don't think Chandler did?
No.
Do you think anybody, Mitchell, do you think he would have anything to do with it?
No, I just can't see people wanting to hurt them. Like, that's the thing. That's why we're so worried. Like, we don't know who would do this to them. Like,
It can be argued that Cathryn must know something that she's hiding, but the possibility of that is actually very low. Cathryn seems to be in a dependent relationship with Chandler. She accepts him after he cheats on her multiple times. She considers him beyond reason, and she tries hard not to feel and process heavy emotions. While Cathryn is trying to provide reasons for his innocence, Chandler is convincing the detectives of his guilt.
Did your dad get injured at all when the glass broke? Did he step on any of it? He sent me up, but I don't doubt it. If he gets mad, he's not thinking. So we don't know if your dad got hurt. No. Okay. No. But my best guess is that guy reached in the fireplace and cut off his arm or something. I don't know. Where did all those paper towels go? Just in the trash? Yeah. Some just everywhere. My car trash, in my trash. They ended up in the car trash? There's a bag in the car that I carry around. It's a car trash. Oh, okay. It's like a gallon bag. Okay. That's more portable than the garbage can. So, yeah, bloody rag after bloody rag, just trying to get it all up. And, I don't know, it was a lot. I didn't feel sick, so it couldn't have been that much, right? Yeah, you didn't lose enough to pass out or anything. Is there any reason to believe Mom or Dad's blood would be somewhere in the house? Have they been injured at all that you're aware of? Well, my dad scratches his psoriasis till he, gushes blood. Okay. Gushing, describe gushing to me. Enough to run down your leg, cover your leg, I suppose. Like, he has it on his knee. So when he does this, it just, drips down. I ask him to stop, but he doesn't do it when he's stressed out. Yeah. He just kind of it's his tick. Probably itches. Does he, does it enough to get on the floor? Does it leave? Oh, yeah. How much, before we were talking the water bottle lid and the Yeti lid, is there, are we talking puddles like that, or just ribbons, or? It could be enough. Okay. But I'm thinking Yeti lid if he's there and I don't catch him soon enough. Oh, jeez. My ma's blood, just from her bloody noses she gets sometimes when she wakes up. That's why we've been doing the humidifier and dehumidifiers. Yeah. Is there any reason to believe that in either one of their vehicles there would be any of their blood? Their vehicles? Yeah. Or anybody's vehicle, let's say that. Maybe car trash. Mom's car trash would definitely, the past few days. My dad's car trash. Why would they have blood in their car trashes? Well, my mom does the bloody noses with the air conditioning, so...
Chandler takes time before replying to the questions. Making up excuses definitely takes time, and that's what seems to be happening.
So, a couple questions. One, what would the possibility be for us to take your cell phone and analyze it? We're trying to verify some things that
You
Chandler's
have all the timestamps,
saying.
right? So, you have all the pictures. So, we have a guy that could download it while you're here. You wouldn't have to leave it with us.
He can limit what he looks at.
I'm not gonna lie.
So, we don't care about those.
Okay.
We don't. All we care about is the text messages from you, Chandler, Snapchat history, any social media stuff, and we're really just looking for probably, what would you say, the first until today.
July 1st until today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Locations and what she said.
But yeah, if there's any inappropriate photos, totally don't care about those.
I just care someone sees my butter.
Nope.
No, we're not gonna.
We don't even want to look at it.
They've been sent through text and Snap.
I don't want to look at it, so.
I don't think Angela's going to look at it.
He's gonna so the way that he can do it is just do it from a certain parameter. So July 1st or 2nd until today.
First.
Totally go just from that. Everything else, we don't go through all of your stuff. It's just a very specific time. And the only reason that we're doing it is just to make sure that we have all the timestamps, right? So you said that you and Chandler are together at this time, and you have the proof to back it up. That's really what we need it for.
Can I get a pinky? You can't break pinky promises. That it's only going to be from July 1st.
So
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what you want.
I would like a pinky on that.
I can pinky you.
Awesome. Do you have an email?
Yes.
What's your email? Oh, your birthday?
Are people usually as cooperative?
I mean, we don't have any reason for them not to be, right?
Want them found.
Despite having some inhibitions, Cathryn allows the detectives to go through her phone just to help them find her boyfriend's parents. From a psychological standpoint, throughout the interrogation, she comes off as an innocent, childlike personality, and she was in love with someone who could very well be a monster in disguise.
You know, the background, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, I think it's time we start talking about what happened to your parents. Like the truthful version.
Okay.
Okay? So, we have like 20 pages of writing. We're going to start with a clean, white piece of paper for you to start telling the truth.
Okay. What?
Because listen to me. This is the only chance you're going to have to tell us the truth.
Okay.
Okay? What we, listen. I can't tell you what we know, but we know you're not telling us the truth. We know your parents are no longer with us. Okay? And we know the reason why. Okay? You need to tell the truth. Listen. You need to tell the truth about what happened and just tell us why it happened. Okay? If something happened, if you were defending yourself, or if you just got fed up with stuff, you need to tell us the truth. Okay? This is your chance to tell us why. Okay? I'm not BSing you. Okay? So can we do that?
Okay. They're okay. Lawyer. I'm sorry. Say it again, Jim. Lawyer. Okay. Because they're. Okay.
You want a lawyer?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The tip that the officers got was that the farm owner where Bart's torso was found had seen Chandler walking from the wood line. Chandler had been sitting in the interrogation room for more than 90 minutes, and he had lied profusely. He not only killed his parents, but also cut their bodies into pieces. He then carried them around the city, dumped the pieces randomly, and even burnt some of them. But not just that, he invited his girlfriend over, pretended everything was fine until he thought it was time to act depressed, and then made excuses, false stories, and lies, all the while laughing in between as if everything was fine. He finally invokes his right to consult with a lawyer, but the detectives still have a way to figure out some of the answers.
Is my phone back?
Yeah. Soon.
Just George.
It's just George. You
Um,
didn't even come with a cookie or anything.
Yeah,
Oh, you
well-
don't like them.
because. Sorry. You'll be out here soon.
Thank you.
I know you said you didn't go in the basement at all this weekend, right? So I was only at the outside of the house yesterday, and it was for minutes. So when you come up the driveway, how do you guys get into the house? Did he hit the code of the garage?
Oh, he
Side
has a
door?
key. Front door.
Front door?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you generally go through the front door?
Mhm.
Okay.
Like, if he doesn't have his key, we go through the garage. But he almost always has his keys on a red lanyard, wears it around his neck.
Okay. They sounds like he's not quite as cooperative as you.
Fair.
Any
know
reason why?
It's probably worried you guys are going to be like, Chandler did it.
Okay.
You know? I think that's everyone's fear.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to be accused of killing their parents. I'm also, I think, just a very understanding person. Look for the best in everything.
Okay.
But
Well, right now, because he's not being so cooperative or forthcoming, his parents are missing. It looks like they're going to take him into custody.
are you serious?
I don't know what the charges are yet, but right now it's just going to be because of the missing persons investigation and him lying to the detectives. Why he's lying, I mean, we're all wondering.
Can I?
You probably know him best. Why do you think he's not being truthful?
Doesn't want it pinned on him, I guess. Can I talk to him before he goes or no?
Mm-mm.
I think they've already walked him down. Why?
Did you ask why? Or, sorry, I just.
No,
No.
you're good.
Pin it on him. Do you think he could have had anything to do with this? And if he did, do you think there's any help in him to disappearance? Did anybody help him? Could anybody have helped him?
Hmm.
Okay. So we were just trying to find out where his parents are, and I mean the sad thing is when you have someone that lives in the house with them and they're lying and not cooperating.
What is he lying about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just that he's lying.
Because we were in with you, so we
Yeah.
have other detectives that were talking to him.
That's great.
I mean, you've been super cooperative in trying to get your phone back. If it's not going to be done anytime soon, we can get you a ride somewhere, have someone pick you up.
Can I get a ride back to Chandler's? That's where my car is, and I'm
So-
supposed to meet his brother there.
That's going to be something else. I'm glad you said that. So they're probably going to want to leave. They're going to leave your car there
No.
at the house because he was in it all weekend.
No. I'm sorry.
And
I have places to be. That's my car. Like, if I'm being cooperative, why do you have to take my car?
Because Chandler's not, and he was in your car. So there's chance that there's DNA in there that we need to get.
But don't I have to, like, consent to that, or you need, like, a court order or something?
well, because it's at his house, they're looking at writing a warrant at the house. So if they write a warrant at the house, your car's in the driveway. They're going to want, because he was in there. They're worried about him. The detectives really think that he probably had something, maybe to do with the disappearance. So right now we have to investigate all avenues, and I know I want to know where they are. You want to know where they are.
Cathryn is shocked without a doubt. Some things are settling in. It's hard to say whether she is surprised by what the detectives are insinuating or by her own fears and doubts that she was trying to run away from. Despite everything, she commits to cooperating with the police.
Can I at least grab my clothes from inside of there?
But yeah, let me see what I can do. What do you have in there?
Bags of clothes.
Your dirty laundry?
Yeah, like,
Oh.
some of it's clean, some of it's dirty.
Do you know what's what? What's
I'd
weird?
rather just have it all. And then my toiletries are in his house. I showered there. I have a bag of clothes inside.
So we can't. Everything in the house stays in the house. Just because it's a potential crime scene. So because we don't know what's going on, we have to very, very treat this like something happened.
Like right now, it's kind of like the game Hangman. When you have to try to fill in the word. We'll give you a few in the beginning. It's like, we're trying to fill in the blanks, and to do that, generally, it's a lot easier when everybody cooperates. Like if everybody's as cooperative as you, we fill in the blanks right away, and we all move on with our day for the most part. Like your phone, we're trying to get that done right away.
Yeah, I know. Let me get you my keys.
Yeah,
That makes it easier.
it's locked on.
I'm not happy about this.
I know,
We
I'm
understand.
sorry.
I have a lot of my underwear in that car.
Well,
I like having underwear. I don't know about you. It's
Well,
important.
yeah, I like wearing underwear.
Oh, can I have
Want me
my house key?
what if I just take the car key only?
I need the fob to drive.
Is this your house key?
The gold one.
Let me take that off for you.
Thank you.
What are you thinking?
Why is this bitch not cooperating?
Why do you think he's not?
I don't know. Like I said, he probably just doesn't want to be like, I didn't do it. I don't want to be like, I don't want them to pin it on me,
If I told you he was lying to them about some things that we know otherwise, would that shock you?
Yeah, I don't know if he saw me. I was shocked. I thought he was cooperating too.
No, we were hoping he was, but unfortunately,
Is our stuff that I'm saying not matching?
Again,
Oh.
no
You
idea.
don't know.
It's like we found out about him making the comment about feeling like he's a prisoner. It wasn't our conversation. That was another interview that's being done by another detective with someone else. I don't know who, but you know, and I don't.
Dramatic.
Obviously, that's not. I mean, obviously, that's not why they would take him into custody. But it's, you know, I had to sit down with the detectives doing the interview.
Can I go pee again?
Yeah.
I just finished off that water.
You're good. Do you want
Not for
another one?
any reason.
Do you want to call anybody right now?
You guys have my phone. I only know my mom's number.
I
Do you
mean,
want to call Mom?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Am I still gonna get my phone before we go?
yeah, my stuff on call.
After this, Cathryn stays in the interview room for about 30 minutes waiting for her phone to be returned and cries non-stop. She feels more for Chandler's parents than he does himself.
This writes on the timer. It's about 6:41.
You're under arrest. Okay?
Okay. What happened? Okay.
You know what happened. We're not going to tell you what happened. You know what happened. You were there when it happened. We're not BSing you, okay?
I wasn't there when it happened.
We know more than you think we know.
I understood.
There's people that have told us things. We have evidence, we have proof that more has happened. Okay. So your parents never made it to the cabin, and I think you know that.
On July 8, 2021, the detectives first arrested Chandler Halderson for lying about a missing person. Then, when they identified the torso as his father's, they charged him with killing his father and hiding the body. The officers were still looking for his mother, Krista. They found a clue using the data they had downloaded from Cathryn's phone. The officers noted that on July 3, 2021, Chandler's Snapchat location was near the Wisconsin River, where he had his favorite swimming hole. The police searched there and found Krista's remains. They also discovered more than 200 bone fragments in his fireplace. Chandler was charged with killing his mother, too. Cathryn was not charged as the detectives knew she was neither guilty nor was withholding any significant information. In September 2021, he pleaded not guilty, and the trial began in January 2022. The prosecutors said Chandler killed his parents because they found out he was lying about college and his job. His lies were about to blow up in his face, so instead of telling the truth or accepting his mistakes, he decided to kill his parents. The jury deliberated for just 2 hours on January 21, 2022, and found Chandler Halderson guilty of all charges. On March 17, 2022, he got life in prison with no chance for parole. Pathological liars are individuals who exhibit a chronic and compulsive inclination to deceive. Chandler Halderson, in this case of his parents' murders, exhibits the characteristics of a pathological liar. His ability to harm his parents and dismember their bodies also points to a severe emotional disconnect. Chandler's web of lies extends beyond just personal matters to a heinous crime. Beyond pathological lying, Chandler displays a deceptive personality, which means he's comfortable engaging in dishonesty regularly. This can include conditions like conduct disorder, which often manifests in impulsive and antisocial behaviors during adolescence. However, a professional evaluation is necessary to make a definitive diagnosis. Cathryn's behavior in her relationship with Chandler appears to be indicative of several psychological dynamics. Cathryn displays submissive behavior, suggesting that she may have struggled with assertiveness and self-esteem in the relationship. It stems from a desire to avoid conflict and maintain the relationship's status quo. There are signs of emotional suppression, too. Initial romantic conversations with Chandler after his arrest may be a manifestation of denial. People in love sometimes struggle to accept harsh truths about their partners, especially when those truths are deeply unsettling. If Cathryn was indeed manipulated by Chandler, it can suggest that she is vulnerable to manipulation tactics. Cathryn's attachment to Chandler, despite his actions, may suggest a form of emotional dependency. This dependency can make it difficult for individuals to break free from toxic relationships, even when they're aware of the harm involved. Given the context, we invite you to share your thoughts and insights on Chandler and Cathryn, the boyfriend and girlfriend duo in today's video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like us to cover any case, please drop your suggestions. Also remember to like, comment, and subscribe so that we can keep covering such cases. Until next time, stay safe.